I think we're on. Come on, wake up.
All right. Hey, yeah, keynote. What?
Keynote what? It's Thursday.
Thursday.
Right?
What happened on Monday?
Yay! It's Thursday.
How are you both doing at 8 a.m. this morning?
Flying.
I exist. I'm like Schrodinger's Kovar. If I don't look inside my own head, I don't know where I am. So it works.
How you doing, Audra? You look fresh.
Yes. It was a fun evening, fun week.
You still have the beads on.
I do. Yes.
What were you doing last night? We did not see you at all at the search party.
I was at the search party. I just was incognito. So I had a whole outfit.
Were you actually dressed up? Were you that person walking around on the stilts with the lights all over themselves? 'Cause that was pretty cool. That was you. I recognize you.
No, that wasn't me, but close. No.
I think you could have done that. I think you would have been fine. That would have been, MBOs for next year.
Yes.
KRs,
yes, noted. I will come better prepared, better outfit. But yeah, the search party was a lot of fun. What did you think?
Yeah, neon theme. We had a couple of good DJs. DJ Jazzy Jeff bringing all my favorite tunes from Sean Paul right the way through to reality. It was great. Just really good range of artists. Loved it. And then DJ Estenia with the electric violin.
Yeah, that was amazing. I wasn't expecting that.
No, she was incredible.
Woman
It
is
was a lot of fun.
talented. My God. Yeah, incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, it was great. A great night. Lots going on, and I'm sure everyone this morning is maybe having a slower
Perky
morning.
and learning and engage.
Having a slow breakfast, I think.
Yes.
Their
Slow breakfast.
SPL skills are increasing after 4 days of solid knowledge gathering.
Oh, yeah.
Are you awake now?
Yeah.
This is the Rybot. We hired
Exactly.
him.
Words are hard.
It's not
Words are
real
hard.
Ryan, I'm afraid. It's the same person who did the keynote on Tuesday. It's just not really him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How was that from your point of view, Ryan?
It was good. It
Yeah.
was, I had to think, I'm like, was it Tuesday? No, it was Monday. It was fascinating, the amount of prep that goes into those sort of keynotes. Takes months of time. Like for anyone who's not been a part of like a corporate marketing, like speaking, like you get trained, you have to go through all the do's and don'ts. You have to learn whisker words. You have to do red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Yep. So all sorts of things like that. And then getting on stage, you just kind of completely forget all of it, and then you have amnesia for 10 minutes, and then you walk off stage, and you go, man, I hope I didn't make a bad joke.
Kind of like this, actually. Yeah. Kind of like these kickoffs. Well, it was good to see from the audience point of view, and I guess we can recap. We had the keynotes on Tuesday as well, with FedEx on Monday, Carnival, IKEA on Tuesday. That was pretty cool, and VMware, of course, as well. So quite a nice range of things we saw announced this week. It's been a busy week.
Yeah, lots of really exciting announcements. We had the Edge Hub announcement with, OT observability and monitoring OT networks and
We've had
shop
nonstop
floors.
conversations about that. I think we've had multiple meetings
So
today, and every
cool.
time that's come
Yeah.
up,
It's exciting. It's cool. You get to go and see a real Edge Hub, play with it, hold it in your hands. There's some Lego manufacturing factory sorting thing going on in the pavilion with it. It's very cool. Very cool.
And then the Splunk Attack Analyzer, that was the big coming out party for that this week, and that's something I know the line in the conference floor to go talk to folks about that was sometimes 5 or 10 deep, which is really neat.
Yeah.
That's a new thing, new security feature we've added, so pretty excited about that.
And of course, the partnership with Azure as well, which was launched
Yeah.
on Monday. That's pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of excitement around that too.
And that we've already seen that utilized, the integration with Azure. So that was really exciting to hear yesterday as well. I don't know, when did I hear that? Someone said that at one point, but
Must have been a rumor at the search party.
Yeah.
When you were going incognito.
it's all a blur. The whole week is a blur.
I'm just imagining you as like Carmen in San Diego with like a dun dun dun, dun throughout.
Yeah, it was a fun time. There was a lot going on. And
Yeah, did you make any bad choices while you were at the search party? Any permanent choices?
oh, there was the opportunity to get a tattoo, and I definitely, I don't know if you can see,
look.
but yeah, I got a tattoo.
That's
Did
just
you
so
not
you
get a
know-
tattoo?
I did, but
Yeah.
this is a PG broadcast. So I can't.
Yeah,
can't
please.
Says
show
Las
the full-
Vegas.
Can't show the full location.
Far too early, far too early. Were you on a panel yesterday for something around Blue Nomicon ahead? Do you want to plug the book a little?
Indeed, we had Blue Nomicon, which is a book we released earlier this year, RSA timeframe. Audra was one of the editors and one of the driving forces to make that whole thing happen, which was awesome. But yeah, we had Jason Lee, Mick Baccio, myself, and Paul Kurtz and Sydney Howard. And I think that's actually on the website now, the Conf website. But we kind of talked about our background, some of the bigger themes that we had that we were excited by in the book, why we wrote the book, and then I made fun of Mick for being old. So
Good
It was a
times.
rounded panel there.
It was a rounded
We really
panel, yeah.
covered a lot there. I think there was a book signing afterwards as well. I'm seeing people
Yeah.
clutching their copy home.
yeah, we had
ready for the
like
plane
100,
journey.
150 people getting the book, which was great. One person asked for enough for his whole team to take back because he was a SOC lead and he wanted them to read it. So
Oh, awesome.
that was great. But no, it seemed to really resonate with folks, and it was a good way to kind of end. I think that was my last major responsibility for the week, so nice to
So now you
close
can
on a high
relax.
night. Yes.
Yeah, now you're done. Okay. Well, we still have loads, of course, coming up today. Like lots of folks departing and going home, but we have lots of meetings coming up. We have quite a few more sessions in the Splunk studio going on today. It's still going to be busy. There's
It
still a
is.
lot
In
of
fact,
people.
you're doing the Blue Team Academy, right?
Yeah, Blue Team
what's that all
Academy.
about? I
This
keep
is
hearing it.
really exciting. If you missed the session introducing this the other day, it's essentially a course designed for more junior defense analysts. So if you work in a SOC type of environment, this is a great introduction to different concepts that you'll encounter day to day. And I think it's a great just overall view of everything that you would need to know to start off in that type of position. So it's a great introduction, and I know Megan Parsons and the whole team that's put this together, they've worked on this for many months. Putting together a course is not easy by any means, and they've done an excellent job of just really being thorough about everything that they'd like to include in this and making sure it's as beneficial and valuable as possible. So I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone come out and getting some feedback on it also. So
Yeah, I think it's critical because that skills part, we always talk about the skills challenge and how difficult it is to find people and train them. And it's really important, actually, we put the time and the effort into doing that. So I think Blue Team Academy is a great initiative. I look forward to seeing how it goes today.
yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm curious, Ryan, like what you thought, because you were very busy this week, right? I mean, you not only had meetings just back to back all day, every day, but you also had 2 sessions, right? One of them introducing the Surge team and some of the research we've worked on and the value in that. And then also the peak hunting framework. What was that like presenting?
I think that was now my 27th presentation I've given at .conf, so it's always funny watching them kind of change. But we had full houses for both of them, which was fun. I talked a lot about the peak threat math, the model-assisted threat hunting in the keynote, and a lot of people who showed up were like, oh yeah, I'm here because I want to learn more about this, which was wonderful. And then some were actually going to be attending the Blue Team Academy and some other things where the peak threat hunting framework is mentioned. So I love the interconnections. I don't like when things are just left alone. Like it's nice for people to have a journey, and this has been a fun one to start through. And the Surge is actually, we talked about all of our different projects. We talked about Blue Nomicon. We talked about Shannon Davis is working on an Chrome extension project where he and James Hodgkinson have downloaded 180,000 different Chrome extensions, I think, something like 40 terabytes of data, and have been running it through a pipeline for analysis to determine what's risky or not. And the goal of this is not to tell everyone, like, oh, there's 3,000 malicious Chrome extensions, but to rather give people the opportunity to find out themselves in the future. So do the hard work, do the science of creating a risk assessment pipeline for Chrome extensions, and then turn that over to the world, which I'm pretty excited about. And then we also talked about YouTube. With the Security Details podcast.
Oh, yeah. We should promote that,
effort.
shouldn't we?
Exactly. So what's that all about? I mean, I could talk about it, but
But you didn't do it.
I didn't do it. Did I, though? I mean, I kind of did.
No,
But it's all
100%.
Ryan's credit, right? Of course. It's always Ryan.
Yeah, we're just here to make him look good, actually. But
Exactly.
no, fully Audra's credit, an amazing project. So we co-host a podcast called The Security Detail. If you hadn't downloaded it, if you haven't listened to any episodes, go and listen now. Each episode, we focus on a different vertical and security threats in that sector. So we've so far had public sector, we've had telco, we've had manufacturing. They just keep on coming. Really good guests on each episode, really insightful things from them. And we're also having a section called I'm the CISO and I Say So, which we had a bit of a tongue twister competition on yesterday. And I've so far never said it wrong. So, 100% streak carrying on. But it's a section where the guests get to say what they would mandate if they were CISO of that sector for a day. and can just make that true across the entire sector. So some really cool insights from that as well. So yeah, the security detail, if you haven't downloaded it or listened to it, go, do it. And full credit to Audra for brain the entire project.
Oh no, Kirsty, you're the credibility, so.
Just a talking head.
So yeah, that's one exciting project that we have. And we also had Coffee Talk here. So
Coffee Talk, yep.
It was really exciting. We had Jake Williams and Eva Galperin on to talk about, trends in advanced persistent threats and their tradecraft, how that's evolved. And we also talked about data privacy, which is a big topic. And I actually had the chance to sit down one-on-one with Eva to talk more in depth about data privacy and specifically stalkerware, which is something that she's an expert on. And she actually gave a TED Talk on that topic. So it was a great conversation. I'm really looking forward to airing that next week, I believe, at 11 a.m. Pacific on Tuesday next week. So that'll be a great interview. We'll have that on the Splunk LinkedIn and YouTube pages as a live stream. Pre-recorded live stream. It's live. But
it was live when you did it.
Exactly. It was live at one point in time.
Just so you know there's going to be no glitch, no technical.
No issues.
It's otherwise live.
Yep.
Yeah,
so that'll be exciting.
Your second conf and your second conf as well. Any big differences this year? Anything?
Well, I'm glad we didn't have the search party outside because that would be 110 degrees and be a little difficult. So I'm glad we had air conditioning.
Yeah, it would have been tough. I think for me, always with comps, the energy is just so high. Like, it's always nice just to connect with people you haven't seen for sometimes a year. You haven't seen them since the last conf. And it's great to hear all the announcements, get some real energy back. And I don't know, it's an energizing week, but I always end like hungover and tired. So yeah, it'll be good. I think looking forward to conf next year already.
Yeah, definitely. Gonna have to relax this weekend, and then we'll be back here in 3 weeks.
We'll be back here in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Are you ready, Ryan?
No.
Fun reminder.
Why are you back in 3 weeks, team?
Black Hat and DEF CON.
Yes, Black Hat and DEF CON is right around the corner, so it'll be fun. I'm excited for it. I haven't been in a couple years, so it'll be good to come back and see everyone again in person. And yeah, Splunk will have a presence at Black Hat, so that'll be a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else? Any closing thoughts before we leave? Any last words, Ryan, that you'd like to share?
Any last words? I know I look rough.
Are you just ready to take a nap already?
Ryan has expired. No, it's like I said, this is my 10th .conf, and it's been great every time, and I always enjoy them. And if you haven't been able to make it before, I highly recommend it. And for those of you who keep coming back, I get it. We understand. It's fun.
Very fun.
Learning and search partying. There we go.
Yes, search party. Always fun every year. All right, well, with that, it was so great to see everyone this year at Conf. I know we still have a few more events today, but hopefully everyone has safe travels home, and we hope to see you again next year.
Hello and welcome to Splunk Perspectives, a podcast for leaders by leaders, where we explore cybersecurity and technology topics with our guests. And I'm joined here today by my colleague, Kirsty.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, whatever time you're listening to this. Great to be here, and today we're talking about the important topic of tool consolidation. Now, we know that many organizations are looking to consolidate their tooling for many and varied reasons. I wanted to have a look at what this topic really meant, so I went straight to the Oxford English Dictionary. I'm a Brit, after all. And the word consolidate has two meanings. The first is to make something stronger or more solid, but the second is to combine a number of things into a single, more effective or coherent whole. And that's what we're going to be discussing today, how we can do that with tools to combine and reduce the number of tools that should result in a much more solid and stronger outcome, so you're spread less thinly. So that's what we're talking about today, but not just me and you, Sean. Who else have we got here?
No, we are privileged to welcome into IKEA here today. So we have Magnus and Aaron. Nice to see you both. Thank you very much for joining us today. Maybe if I can ask you to introduce yourselves first of all.
Sure. I'm Magnus Lord. I'm a functional expert on the topic observability on Splunk-based solutions. I'm working in IKEA in Älmhult, Sweden, and this is my colleague.
Hello. Thanks for having us here. I am Arun Prasad, and I am working as a business analyst with the monitoring team for the IKEA. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. So you are part of IKEA.
Yeah.
Which a lot of our audience has probably never heard of, if we're honest. I hadn't heard of IKEA until a few days ago when I met you for the first time. So maybe you could share with our audience a little bit about the difference between IKEA and IKEA.
So there is two different entities here that we are talking about. IKEA is the franchisor. So we hold the brand. We are responsible for product development, the product range, also the supply chain, marketing material, everything to support our retailers. And the retailer is 13 of them to total, and the biggest one is IKEA. So they are basically the store, they are the one that is selling everything. So we are aligned, we have a lot of collaborations with all the retail groups, and we in some cases also have shared infrastructure and shared environment. It's where we're sharing context.
Okay, so it sounds like a really complex, mixed environment, much more than what people are thinking of, just the shop where you buy your furniture. There's a whole backstory to what's going on behind the scenes. So we wondered if we could talk today, for you at least, what do you think are the main drivers behind tool consolidation? Why are organizations looking to do this? Aaron, let's start with you.
Yeah, I can just start with a brief introduction on this. So there is a great industrial saying on the same topic. Observability, the main purpose is to make the data observable and make available for the multiple teams as well as managements across various organizations. It can be solved by using the right tools with the right incorporation. If any organization is using multiple tools, 5 tools or 10 tools, it is not going to make the observability simple or more observable. Rather, it is going to make the scenario more complex, and it will be more tough to maintain also. So starting from there, if we can say some of the good points regarding the consolidation of the tools, maybe the first is like reducing the complexity of the environment itself. Maintaining a big technical environment with multiple tools and maintaining the data which is getting produced in multiple repositories, it makes the life harder and harder for the technology people as well as for the managers. And also you will not be able to make a E2E view or end-to-end view of the data which is originating from one source and which is traversing to the multiple sources. Because unified dashboard will be a little tough to make with the multiple tools. Maybe just to enrich more on this particular topic, I'll just hand over to Magnus.
Yeah,
Magnus,
so
please.
correlation is the key. So regardless the tools that you have in your portfolio, they need to be able to play nice to each other.
Right.
So either they are just producer to each other, or you can search across the different entities regardless where the information is. However, they need to be able to play nice together. They need to be able to communicate with the same type of framework. So we are reusing the knowledge, reusing the knowledge objects, and being constructive lazy, I would say, because you don't want to do the same thing repetitive all over the place. And the second topic I would like to talk about a little bit on the aspect of tool consideration is one of the biggest driver is, of course, cost. And it's not about that we are going to reduce cost, it's making sure that we get the right value, the business value and the empowering the everyday people, making their day a little bit better every day. And for us, that is one of our core values in IKEA. Also, it's within IKEA's genes to be aware of the cost. So every piece of furniture we start developing, we start with setting the price, and then we develop within the concept of that. Same thing with our tools. We should be able to identify the cost and the cost drivers within the tools. No one really likes an invoice where it just says one line, monitoring, and then a sum, and you have no insight at all. So what we are trying to now is to be completely transparent about the cost. Regardless of the tools, we are identifying and describing how the license models is built up. We identify the different signals that can be related towards the license models, but also to each tenant. Each tenant could be part of the organization, a team, where you can actually be able to identify who should I talk to when we have a huge amount of ingest or a huge amount of users. So not that we are going to say, you need to cut back, but rather, can we help you? Can we skin the cat a little bit differently here? Can we improve? Do you really would like to have these metrics every 5 seconds? Or is it a little bit later, like 1 hour? Is good enough? What is good enough for you? So the ambition on each team drives how we are implementing the tool, but they also get insight of the cost. So they are possible to affect their share of the cost, and also how we can then elaborate. Can we change the toolings? Can we do it a little bit different, better, or can you still achieve the same result?
Yeah, I think that's really interesting of the aspects you're drawing out there. The job's hard enough without having to wrangle between different tools just to get one end-to-end view. And I actually love the idea that you're taking your approach towards furniture and cost building from the start and taking that approach to your tooling. I love that analogy. That's great.
Yeah. So maybe I could try and summarize that. So it's a combination of cost saving, or at least maintaining cost, managing your costs, whilst also maintaining or at least improving your user experience.
And value.
Great, perfect.
It doesn't really matter which tool we have. If you don't master the tool, you don't get the value out of it. We need to solve the problems that we are facing in our organizations in our everyday. We need to make sure that we can go home happy to our family and rest assured that our tools are keeping track on our environments. We are on top of things. We are ahead of the curve, and we are able to act faster. With the right tools, on the right cost, it doesn't really matter. The value is the key here.
Great. So when you're trying to find the right tool to do your tool consolidation, how do you decide, or what do you look for when you're trying to decide which tools to invest in next or which tools to keep?
So it doesn't really matter if you're looking to invest something new. You also need to reflect on what you have already today. So Arun and I have done an extensive work of analyzing all the capabilities that we have in our portfolio. Not to make sure that they are overlapping or not, but trying to identify what is the differences here. Is there any special aspect that we need to consider? And when we are in the inflow team talking to the new consumers that are coming to our central monitoring team, we're trying to assess the persona. What is the type of deployment you have? Are you on a shared environment, or do you own your stack in the cloud? Do you own your code? Maybe APM is good for you. If you don't own your code, we have the other solutions to get the insights. So here we are trying to identify the persona, the team, how we can support them with the best type of capabilities. And for that, we have a matrix, so we can actually look at what is best suited for everyone, because we are different. Everyone is having their special need.
Yeah, I think looking at that delta is a really sophisticated way to approach it. Quite often we look at what's the same, but really you need to see the differences to make the most of that value. So we've had a good canter through why you should be consolidating your tooling, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners will be thinking, yeah, I should do that too. But a question for you, why now? What would be the key point where you realize, you know what, I have to do this now. It's become too much of a problem. What is the driver to do it today?
If I can just raise a good driver for that is like, most of the companies, they'll be starting investing on multiple tools and not taking a right decision at the right time. Which tool has to invest is one side. At the same time, there is a different angle where we are trying to grow the data. If the data is growing extensively in one side, and later if the enterprise is identifying, no, this is not the way we have to, then a lot of rework is going to happen. And more than the cost of the tool, which is going to get changed from one tool to another tool, it is the time as well as the cost and the effort, the more main drivers which are behind this. And also what will happen to the data. The data may be residing in one format in one tool, and you have to take it into another format into another tool. The repository change all may not be easy. So it will be making the life more tougher and tougher only. And also just adding one more point to the tool consolidation. Tool consolidation doesn't mean that we can do everything with the one tool itself. There should be tools coexisting, but for the right purpose. Say, for example, any organization has a CDN, and the CDN will be best to monitor with the native tool with the CDN itself, because they need to be having a real-time approach from the side of the CDN.
Yeah.
And later it can be translated into the tool and visualized in a dashboard.
Yeah, great. So it sounds like you've got a very complex organization and a set of organizations that have to work together. Tool consolidation, even in a small organization, is tough, right? It really is tough.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've gone through a whole bunch of different challenges on your journey as you've worked through this. Could you share with our audience maybe one or two of them?
So we have the same set of challenges as everyone else. We are going into a new agile ways of working, a lot of autonomous DevOps teams that think that, well, I'm a DevOps engineer and I can maintain my own observability stack as well, but that is not their main purpose, right? So we need to be able to be enabler for them. We need to also be strong in our vision and directives and ideas that use this setup, and then you can reuse a lot of knowledge out of the box. Use this development portal where you have templates, where the log framework and observability is built in from the start. So the entry step to the central platforms are so easy to, they want to get there. We need to make sure also to look at which type of tools do we need to have for correlation, where we are enabling security and DevOps into one view, but also sometimes you need to split the data to an observability platform really next to the system, because monitoring is driving automation. You need to be able to scale up, scale fast, and then you don't really afford to have a latency. So it depends, but you need to be aware of this and take decisions based on facts, based on experience, and based on how we can support the organization.
So it sounds like you're in quite a good position now. You know, it's been a bit of a journey to get there with all the complexity, but you're there now. So if we look further ahead, how do you avoid doing this exercise again? How do you avoid that tool bloat once you're in a good position? Or is that even possible? Do you think it's natural that's going to happen over time, and you just need to make sure this exercise is repeatable?
Exactly. The only constant in IKEA is change. So we need to constantly reflect on where we are, where we're heading. We can outline the roadmap for the next 2-3 years, but we need to revisit that on even down to a tertial level. And we need to anchor that within the team so we achieve consensus. When you have that, it's much better to implement what you're wishing ahead. So yeah, it's a constant journey, and it's not a one thing that you do and then throw away.
Not a one and done. You have to revisit this after. Well, the joy you have to look forward to. Do you think it will be simpler to do it now you've done it once, this exercise, to repeat it again? Have you got some repeatable patterns that work that you could maybe share today?
Yeah, our processes are, our workflow is being set up in such a way that we can reuse it regardless of the technology. So if you do it right from the beginning, you can then take the identified indicators and just say, here, go ahead, implement. We know the data and all of that. So, yeah.
So perhaps, you know, if you're feeling a bit demoralized because it's taking a long time this first time, don't, because investing in that will make you feel a lot better. You will get there the next time a lot quicker. Super.
Great. So I wonder if you've done this now and it's been tough and you think you can do it again in the future, would there be anything that you would do differently next time?
What do you say, Arun?
It is always good to try new things. And because industry is like a constantly changing, every tool is changing. Technology, as we have discussed, like it is getting complex day by day. So always we have to try new.
Great. Well, perfect. Thank you so much. That's been really insightful. I hope you found that too, Kirsty.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a tough topic, tool consolidation. We really got to grips with it, and it's great to hear of some success in the field. So congratulations to you both for achieving that, and thanks for appearing with us today.
Thank you for having us here. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So thank you very much, everyone here today. This has been Splunk Perspectives. I've been Sean Cooney. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you again soon.
Welcome to Perspectives podcast by Splunk, where we get executive takes on topics covering cybersecurity and technology innovation by leaders and for leaders. My name is Corey Minton, and I'm joined by Sean Cooney, my co-host. And today we want to have a conversation that is all too common, it seems, in technology about things like innovation, emerging technologies, and we'd be remiss not to at least talk about AI and some of the crazy innovation happening in that space. So we've invited Splunk's new CTO, Min Wong, to join us for a conversation. Min, would you do us a favor and start by giving us a little bit about your journey, your history, kind of how you got to the seat you're in now of not only joining us here, but CTO at Splunk?
My journey here have been fantastic during the 90 days, super exciting, a lot of challenges. What got me there is one word: data. I started my career after I got my PhD in database query optimization in 99. And since 99 until now, 25 plus years, I spent a good 20 years in doing industrial research in data. Starting with the IBM TJ Watson Research Center, working on IBM's DB2 optimizer, then enterprise data analytics for HP Labs, then joined Google when Google Research in 2013, when Google Brain was still in early stage. Then I left Google, joined the payment company Visa, started the research organization there, did a really exciting 2+ year journey to build a deep learning model to really change the way how payment industry dealing with fraud detection. Then went back to Google, joined Google Cloud, really did a big change in my career, turned from a research side to product development. Lead the development of a new product at Google Cloud for 2 years, and then joined the Google Assistant, which is all about AI. What brought me to Splunk are really the timing. When generative AI started in such a big way in the past year or so, I started to ask myself, technology in my mind is always a means to an end. When a new means like this one come, what is the industry that can benefit from it the most in terms of the end, which is, for me, always deliver the best value to the customers.
Absolutely.
It's a really interesting career path. Thank you for sharing.
I want to make a note. It's like for those of people who may listen to this, if you started your career after you got your PhD in computer science in industry research organization, like in the past, Bell Labs, IBM Research, Microsoft Research, and so on, 5 years is usually the point that people are saying, hey, am I going to change to the other side of the industry, being development and product? And if you don't do that, at that point, you do stay in research forever. And I'm a really odd layer because when I made the change on 2018, I left Visa and I told Google the only reason I come back is I'm going to do product development. I'm so glad I did that because I feel so closer to the real value delivery part of the chain.
Yep.
Great. So a real outlier, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Right? So let's talk a little bit about AI then. We're here today.
Yeah.
It's obviously one of the buzzwords that we're hearing a lot at the time at the moment. We've probably entered the next wave, the summer of AI, as it were, probably in large part thanks to OpenAI and ChatGPT. But what are you most interested in? What are you most excited in over the next year or so when it comes to AI developments?
Yeah. You're not going to like my answer, at least the first part. While I have been talking about generative AI on the keynote all the way, I want to make a clear point here. Remember, in my mind at least, innovation and any new technology is always a means to an end. Yep. And the end is customer value. and to be concrete, bring value to the customer, solve their most important problems in the best, most effective way.
Yeah.
And you got to start from there and then look for the proper technology. So define your problem and expected outcome first. Then go through the chains of options of technology, and the generative AI as other technology is just one of your options. Depends on what outcome you expected and what problem you're facing. Generative AI could as well be the best one or could not be suitable. Don't forget all the other technologies we have all built over years, traditional machine learning, statistics, database, right? Some problem can still be best solved by them.
Yeah.
And the generative AI is super powerful, bring the powers from dimensions that none of us imagined before, but it is still new. To translate this technology to real value and solution is a long way to go. And for me, like leading this journey at Splunk is what excites me the most.
Absolutely. So that's one of the things that we look at, public statements of some of the largest organizations around the world, and there's these unifying kind of thread that we see, which is, chairmen and CEOs talk a lot about cybersecurity is a must, but innovation is also a must.
Yeah.
So how do leaders like you, and how do you hear other leaders trying to balance that requirement of, hey, we absolutely need to innovate, there's pressure from outside forces because generative AI is this talk, but how do you balance that need for innovation with that need to build things that are resilient and secure?
Mm-hmm. I think it's all come to some basic principles. I think we need to be super clear about your business goal first. Mm-hmm. Super clear about your business goal, and don't leave any ambiguity. That doesn't mean it cannot change. Mm-hmm. Make it clear when you need to change it, but before any change, you need to be super clear with your team about your business goal. And then based on the goal, start to build your innovation and the technology roadmap and strategy to achieve this goal. And then the next important thing is really how you measure your progress, right?
Absolutely.
So this is actually one of my favorite topic is like for anything, if you want to be successful, you first need to have a clear goal. Second, you need to have a roadmap in a way that you can measure your progress. Yeah, excellent. For generative AI in particular, I actually talked to a few colleagues already during yesterday and the day before yesterday. I start to think about how I am going to measure the progress of generative AI technology in Splunk's setting.
Absolutely.
So here is some very early thought, like really early, and is really the like version 0.1, I would call it. Yeah, so I think it's really, we need to define our success management around two places. One is several key user journeys, and second is certain fundamental common components for using generative AI. And then once we have, this is hard. We're going to start something and keep iterating, depends on what we hear from our customers in particular, from the field. And then for each of those components and user journey, I think especially when it comes to user journey, I want to focus on several dimensions to measure if we are making progress. One is to really help our customers in this particular journey doing things faster, easier, smarter, and simpler. Okay, easier and simpler are not the same. Have some overlap. I haven't defined the specific definition yet, but then translate this full concept into some early metrics. Start to quickly iterate to see if we are making any progress, right? And one thing I've always called out is really, I didn't say cheaper. Did you notice?
I did notice that.
Yeah. So I actually, cheaper was in my initial draft. I would write down on my notepad. I deleted it because I don't think cheaper is a well-defined term in this scenario, because expensive or cheap is all relatively to the value. And I would rather for myself to focus on the value generation and then let my other colleague to figure out the pricing.
That's really interesting, isn't it?
It is.
So let's think about the average organization going through or thinking about their own AI journey over the next however many years. Who should lead the change in AI? Because it's a lot of organizations may jump at the chance of maybe thinking this is just another IT project, right? And maybe it's the responsibility of the IT director or the CTO or the COO. Whose responsibility should it be?
I didn't get your last sentence.
Whose responsibility should it be to lead an AI change across an organization?
I think it's the whole organization.
Yeah.
And I also want to add the first step for a lot of organizations is going to be get some technical fundamental understanding about generative AI before you talk about anything. Actually, I'm going to push that to do it at Splunk.
That's fantastic. So one of the things you just mentioned is you have to have everyone on the same page. Everybody has to work together to achieve the innovation. But as a senior leader in an organization, you ultimately have to answer to a board of directors, and a board of directors needs to be in your camp as an executive. They need to be aware of and aligned to your vision. What are some best practices that other CTOs might benefit from on how do you clearly articulate and get the board of directors in your camp, so to say, and supportive of your vision?
Yeah, I think it depends on your board members' background, but in most cases, I would start with an informal conversation to get everybody on the same page from the technical understanding level about generative AI, what it's about. You know, so many people talk about generative AI, but the fundamentals need to be better understood for us to have a meaningful conversation when we talk about the generative AI strategy. The second is really using examples to illustrate your vision instead of keep talking about principles and concepts, right? I think that's usually work for me the best. Start with simple example and how this example is, assuming it's a user journey, how is solved today, or why it's not solvable today, rather, and then what is the ideal outcome if you have the technology to really bring it to the next level in a better way, and then list all the technology options that can bring you there, and tell them which one is the best one for each component and why, right? And then the next step is really show experimental result to really validate what you said is not just gut feeling. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And yes, example-driven thing always working for me the best. Is keep me honest.
Explaining it, metaphors and so on. Yeah, great. Thank you. So we've spoken about AI, but I'm sure there are other disruptive technologies that you're thinking about beyond AI. Would you mind sharing a few of them?
I actually think I wouldn't call it disruptive. I really think one interesting problem for, like there are two, like one interesting problem for all of us look into is how we can seamlessly kind of integrate the traditional machine learning technique with generative AI, so we can get the good side of both, right? We all know generative AI have hallucination problem, and I want to call out, unless there is a big revolution, like really technology revolution on how we build a large language model, hallucination is not going to be solved. It will always be there. All we can do is to reduce it.
Yeah.
But on the other side, the more you reduce it, generative AI's special power is became weaker. So it's like hallucination. Another way to say hallucination is being creative, right? Yeah. So this, but I do feel by leveraging what we have built in traditional machine learning, there may be a way we can do it better.
Yeah.
The second one I'm thinking is really how we better do domain-specific generative AI model, not only for quality, but also for cost. Now I'm talking about cost. We're not building model to solve the world, all the language phenomena, or everything everybody got to say in all the languages, right?
Yeah.
So we want to solve all the problems a Splunk customer can ever met in their environments or workflow. So that is a much smaller specific domain. So how do we fine tune the model to be domain and Splunk specific and also getting smaller?
That's fantastic. Well, man, it's been fantastic to have you join us on Perspectives. And I think having a CTO that has a vision for how the technology will evolve the customer journey is fantastic, but also thank you for the guidance on how do you really act as a great leader in a technology organization to drive innovation and help your customers achieve the most value. So it's been a fantastic conversation. Thank you all for joining us on this podcast, and hopefully you'll be tuning in to splunk.com/perspectives for more conversations and takes from the executive team on topics around cybersecurity and technology for leaders and by leaders. I'm Corey Minton. Thanks so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome to Splunk Talk, the only podcast that's all Splunk and no junk. I am Birch.
I'm Hal.
And we're here to recap everything we've experienced over the last few days.
Yeah.
And Hal, I am standing up because I may collapse with exhaustion from how wonderful this experience
So if
is.
you sit down, what happens?
Now, if I sit down, I'll be fine.
Okay.
But
I mean, I care about your health. I want to make sure that you're.
thank you. You're a very caring individual. This has been an incredible experience, and it feels like the conf that I know and love, where just everyone is so excited to be in person and meet each other and take in technical stuff. How about you? You have notes clearly.
Oh no. This is a prop. I'm on Slack chatting with coworkers
No,
during the show.
in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Your co-host would be so offended.
Well, I mean, I was talking to Beth Narish about workshops.
Oh, okay.
That's topically relevant to what I'd like to talk about.
Were
I
you
love
able to
workshops.
attend any workshops?
Yes.
Tell us.
So we got a bunch of stuff at the show. In the breakout sessions are what people expect and know and love. And
Yes.
And we've done hands-on labs before as well. So hands-on labs are kind of like, they're like the most mature, but it's like a bite-sized piece of very refined, go do this thing, learn how to do this thing. And that comes out of our education crew who are awesome. That's on the show floor. Workshops are a little different. Workshops are kind of in between. They're long, usually like 90 minutes long kind of thing. And you're going to get in and get deep into a topic area. And those are great. I got to sit in, help a few different teams build theirs. I got to sit into 3 different ones and one this morning.
Hey, you came to mine.
Yes, that's right, I did.
Yes.
So yeah, no, they're great. It's always a challenge making something ready and that scales to, you don't know how many people are going to show up. It's like,
Yeah.
you could get 10 people, you could get 150
I bought
people.
a lot of
and you're like,
apps. I don't know who's coming to the party.
yeah, exactly. But no, the 3 I went to were awesome, and it looks like everybody enjoyed them. So it's
That's
exciting.
great. I actually just raced down here from one that was all about observability, and it was so clever. The people that created the workshop, instead of having a shell and like type things and people having typos and stuff,
Yeah.
they made the shell automatically type the commands.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just hit enter, and then it would type like,
That is
cube
super
control,
interesting.
blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
pipe,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Not in Splunk, in a Unix shell,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a terminal. And then you would hit enter to execute the command, and it would show you the output. And then,
Yeah.
and I thought that was such a clever way to do
that is
one of
neat.
these things, because now people are really appreciating, like, oh, here's the command I would run at home. Here's what it would do, and not just don't get distracted
Yeah.
by typos.
Well, another thing I saw that was cool was where the workshop, the documentation, any artifacts that you need, they're all in GitHub.
Ooh,
And you can take that with you and do something with it later.
I like that.
So yeah, that's something. I mean, because there's so much that you learn here at the show. It's hard to keep it with you when you leave.
Yes.
And you're going to remember 10% of what you learned, and then some of it gets lost in the party.
Speaking of what you learn while you're here, I've asked a couple people. This is what in prep for our big recording. I've
one?
been asking. Yes. I've been asking people. Tell me something you experienced this week. And in fact, I can see one of the people that I asked that to sitting right there. And they're laughing right now. But, I said, tell me about your experience. And you know what? I found a pattern.
Okay.
I found a pattern amongst the data.
All right, awesome. What it was?
The pattern was everyone I talked to actually told me a story that essentially was I was with a customer, someone using Splunk.
Right.
And I showed them a thing. And then they said, oh my gosh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
And that, one
Yeah,
story
I had one of
was,
those as well. I'd forgotten.
I've been sorting through an Excel sheet every day and looking for something. And it's-
Okay. And you're like, we have this
you
tool
bring
right
that
over
data
here.
in and do it at scale. And the other one was with observability, and they saw our observability suite, and they went, we have that? You could do that? I had no idea you could do that. I've been doing that, manually in a very painful way.
Yeah.
And I feel like that all goes back to like how I fell in love with Splunk. It was that aha moment of like, oh my gosh, I've been living with this pain of having to SSH onto all these boxes.
right.
and like look at the logs and grep and everything. And I did not know something like this existed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're all trying to solve problems, right? And I was chatting with, I want to say it was Bjorn. I think it's Bjorn, one of the Splunk Trust members, yesterday at breakfast. And it was funny because I walk in, I'm looking randomly for a table. You know, they route you to this buffet line, and you look around, and you sit down, and it's the morning. Like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be talkative or not, honestly. And I sit down next to some people, and Bjorn's over there wearing a fez. I've never met him before, but I have my fez on, so I'm like, all right, cool. I will gravitate towards where the fezes are. And I sit down, and they all talk German. And I'm like, okay, that might be perfect. I don't have to talk or carry a conversation, but it was interesting because I would hear Splunk, German words, container, German words, and interspersed in the PowerShell, German words. And then after some of the conversation died, and I turned over, I didn't understand almost anything, but I heard this and this and this, and I know this and this and this, and then we started up a conversation in English, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was just really cool. But story similar to what you were saying about people finding that thing that I didn't know they could do. I was at the machine learning booth, extending. I think it was like extending Splunk with machine learning. I think was the name of the booth. And I was showing off what we have in the MLTK, the machine learning toolkit. And I always start off the story saying, this is not new. We've been doing this for years. This is version 5.4 of this thing. And
It's just now people care.
yeah, well, it is. It's kind of that. But it's like, check this out. This is neat. And then the woman that was I was speaking with, she was like, I was trying to do something like this other way, and I didn't
know I
And I'm
could.
like,
Yeah.
You've got this now. This is free. This is a capability of the core platform.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just glad that people can be absorbed and find new things. It's
Well, and
pretty
I
awesome.
feel like that is like the validation of why Conf is so wonderful as a user conference,
Yeah.
an opportunity to come here and learn from other people and go, oh my gosh, I didn't know I can do that.
Yeah.
Now I want to, what do I want to do? I want to break open the laptop and
Yeah,
start
yeah.
trying to, set up my environment to do that.
And people come here for different reasons, right? I mean, there's a lot of different people in different roles and stages in
I
their
come
career.
here for the free food.
Yes. Well, really?
No.
No. Okay. and I remember talking to someone else, and they were saying, I was like, hey, did you see such and such at the keynote? Or did you hear about such and such? It was like, no, I always skip all the keynotes. I was like,
They said that?
yeah, they did. I was like,
Did you faint in a dramatic style?
no, because there's all kinds of things to do
There are.
and ways to learn, and everybody's different, and that's
Yeah.
cool. And I was like, oh, well, I had this bullet point in my head that was embedded into my brain because of the keynote. Let me explain this to you. And they were like, so I gave them that information a different way.
Yeah.
And that was exactly what they needed at that moment. And it's hard to do that unless we're actually seeing people and having conversations and interacting live.
Yeah.
Pretty tough.
So a lot of the breakout sessions, my understanding is at some point they are going to be available online for us to watch and consume
Yes.
and study.
Yes. I don't know if we have enough juice that we can say they'll be available on a date, and because we set it live, they'll just do it. I don't know that we can swing that.
No, I keep it vague because
I keep thinking about that. I was like,
You
hey,
never know. You
they'll
never
be
know.
available on.
Yeah. available in a store near you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to those, to watching those. I actually
They also
go
have
and watch them
.conf
all.
Go. Did we talk about that?
We did not.
Okay. So .conf Go is taking kind of like the best of what happens at the show, a lot of the content, and then they'll hit a lot of different cities all around the world.
So it's like a traveling circus of Conf?
Something like that, yes. I don't know if there's like trapeze or anything like that normally one would associate with a circus. But
That sounds
otherwise,
pretty
very similar.
awesome. Yeah.
It's a road show.
Yeah, a road show.
Take it on the road.
That's cool. I hope they come to a city near me.
I'm certain that they will because you do live near a metro in the northeastern United States that some people call the Big Apple.
Yes.
Yeah. They're probably going to go there.
Okay. Well, then
That's what I'm thinking.
that is something I hope to catch all of you
I live in
at.
the other quadrangle.
You live in the Big Peach,
Yes, the Big Peach. There you go.
and I'm at the Big Apple.
There you go.
Yes.
That's a lot of fruit.
Yeah. We're very fruit-oriented
Are there
states.
any other cities that have fruit names?
Probably, but we did make a promise that this would be all junk and no Splunk.
Did we?
I mean,
which was-
wait, I may have had that backwards.
I get that backwards all the
Yes.
time. I'm okay with that though.
It's what we do versus what we say. Okay, so because the content is going to be, the breakout session content is going to be made available online, and because I actually do watch the recordings,
Yes.
I tried to strategically maximize my experience by going to the unrecorded things.
Okay.
So I attended I had my own session, which went swimmingly. Thanks for asking. I mean, you were there.
Was there?
I tried to go to those workshops and really
The workshops
soak in
aren't
the
recorded
pavilion.
for very practical reasons that make sense when you think about it. There's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of lecture, and then a lot of silence as people are trying to do the thing. So it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to record that.
Yeah. So the pavilion, I tried to soak in the pavilion
Yeah.
as well. Let's talk about some of the things that we saw there.
Sounds like an excellent idea.
So I wish I did just for the podcast, but we had artists, I think sponsored by the AWS,
Okay.
doing graffiti tags
I missed that.
on people's bottles.
I'm
There was
kinda sad now that
there was a
you're telling me
beautiful,
after.
healthy line.
If you had told me earlier, then I would have probably done
I
that.
didn't.
Oh, it was a beautiful, healthy line. Okay, I probably
I did not have the heart to get in line. It was like
Yeah.
let the customer.
Yeah.
Did
Did you get a hoodie?
I got a hoodie. Did you get a hoodie?
I missed it.
You missed.
I'll
I'm
get one later.
Sure, we can figure
there's
that out.
there's a. I know they've got processes, but like,
Yeah.
what color is the logo? I actually don't know.
It's we might do we have a hoodie here? We probably have a hoodie here.
Yeah, maybe a
This might
hoodie will
become your
magically
hoodie,
appear.
even.
It's funny. It's like I just
Yeah. Prop. It's magic.
Let's see how this works out. All right.
Show business magic.
All right. Cool. Yeah. There we go.
So you said what
Golf
color is
hoodie.
it? And I got
It's
flustered
got
because it's
three different colors.
all the
It's kind of
colors.
a gradient here between yellow to orange to purple.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice.
And
I like it.
I think the back is a standard Splunk back.
I would
There's
expect
no,
that.
Yeah,
Yep.
no
Yep.
numbers.
Yep.
No.
I came hoodieless to the show on purpose because it's rather hot.
It's rather hot. It's
Yeah, I'm
110
kinda hot
degrees right
natured.
now. Outside, not inside.
Yeah, not inside. I didn't go outside. Did you go outside?
I went running outside.
Okay, that's crazy. Back to the show floor.
Yes.
Okay. So you experienced the
I
magic
saw.
of-
Yeah,
of the
there was
tagging
beautiful
of
what they
the
were doing.
bottles. Yep.
Yeah.
It's cool. I went to the community zone a couple times.
Ooh.
It's neat. It's kind of like it's less focused. So what you see is a huddle of people socializing.
That
and then
seemed
occasionally
like a
there's
high
events
school
that
hangout, like after school hangout. I mean, there was like
Yeah.
the little stage, but then like these wonderful, comfortable couches. There were like snacks going on in the back and like a booth going in the back. But it seemed
Yeah.
like a community within a community.
Yeah, no, it was neat. I liked hanging out over there a little bit, just kind of connecting with people I've known for years and never met in person, or people I've never met at all. So it was great.
That's cool.
Otherwise, a lot of my time was spent in the the booth, where I was staffing, which is the platform area. Did a
Yeah.
lot of fun stuff there.
What were you?
conversations.
Which booth were you in the?
I'm a floater.
You're a
I'm
floater.
just kind of like all over the place.
Okay.
But we had SPL2, we had ingest actions. I'm talking about the feature names.
Federated Search. That's where I
Federated
was.
Search. Oh, you were? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cross-region disaster recovery for enterprise cloud, edge processor. We had two ML booths, sort of technically. So we had the machine learning booth, we had the AI booth. So to distinguish between the things that we've been doing for a while and the things that were newly announced by Min Wong.
Can you tell more about that? Like what were we showing? I actually must have walked past that booth.
Yeah, you must have.
What?
So probably so we have one app which is GA. That's the Splunk app for anomaly detection.
And GA means generally available.
Correct. And then we have one app that is in beta, which is the AI assistant.
AI Assist.
So they were talking about both.
Did you get to play with it?
A little bit, yeah. I did do a little bit.
A little
bit. The way I like to think about the app for anomaly detection, and we talked a little bit about this with Robin, so I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's like, let's look for a series of numbers, and based on the algorithm, tell which of them are not right.
Say that again.
Which of these numbers are not right?
Oh.
So any series of numbers, and look for which of them are not right, and that might be something important, might be notable. You might want to receive
Some
an alert
anomaly.
on that.
Yeah.
So you might want to use that to elevate the visibility of something in, for example, where you have notable events, like, I don't know, enterprise security.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a complement. It's a platform feature, so it complements things that you're already doing, like the machine learning toolkit. And the machine learning toolkit is kind of like the basis for where you can do clustering, you can do anomaly detection, you can do prediction. There's a lot of cool features in there. It's got a showcase, so it'll walk you through learning how to do those. You just take any table of data at all, so
Yeah.
whatever your SPL is, slap a stats on it or whatever
Slap
to
a
make
stats.
slap a stats, make your table, and then you can go through and the showcase. And one of the really cool features added a couple years ago was this experiment workflow.
Okay.
So, because when you're machine learning and kind of in that space, it's like you're, okay, you know the difference between probabilistic and deterministic?
I do not.
Okay. Deterministic is easy to understand. It's like if I add 2 and 2, I'm going to get 4 every single time.
That's deterministic.
That's deterministic. Probabilistic is fuzzy, right? It's like there is a high chance or there's a low chance, there's a 93% chance according to this algorithm that is an anomaly. It's probabilistic. So, what does that mean? You need to play with it. You need to iterate until you get to something that you have confidence in.
Okay.
So the machine learning toolkit and the experiments workflow user interface basically gives you a place to test your hypotheses and tools to validate that they actually turn out the way, and then you can iterate on them. You can take notes on what I'm trying to change this variable and see what that does, and so on. And then you have an operationalized area, and that will let you do things like schedule an alert, or save an alert and have that.
And so
fire.
that's not new though. That's stuff we've had for
Some
a
of this
little bit of time.
has been available for a while. The new thing is support for Onyx, ONNX, which
Okay.
is a way to, it's like an API.
Type of stone.
Yeah, ONYX is, yes. This is different. This
Oh.
is different. I don't know actually what the acronym stands for, to be perfectly honest. But you get to use that framework to take a machine learning model that you already have and bring it into the machine learning toolkit.
Oh, interesting.
So a lot of cool stuff over there.
So, okay, so we had all these like demo booths at the pavilion. We had a lot of the partners had booths to show off their wares.
Yes, they did.
I saw a cool one. Google had a booth.
Yeah.
And it was showing how you could collect data from the browser, so the Chrome browser.
Oh, okay.
And they would forward that into like their platform, and then that would be forwarded to Splunk, where you could
okay.
do a lot of security
Probably
use
like
cases.
like using either Google Analytics or something similar, one of their services that takes the telemetry from the browser.
Yeah, and it was interesting.
like
and I was
real user
at first I was like,
monitoring,
oh, why isn't this going directly from the endpoints? And then like it actually makes a lot of sense.
They've
you
got
know,
a lot of work they do behind the
consolidate it.
scenes there.
Yeah, maybe consolidate that, but also just like all these endpoints, you don't want them necessarily being so chatty.
Yeah.
Out to a Splunk service.
Yeah, because the endpoints for a browser, right? They're anything.
Yeah.
You've got could have millions of them in some cases.
Yeah. So
Cool,
that was cool. I also really enjoyed, there was a like celebrating 20 years of Splunk museum.
Did you find the typo?
I found a typo.
Yep.
Is it the same typo?
I don't know. It was a version number that was
Version
not in
number
that year.
4 in 2015.
Yeah.
And
it
I
a
was
little
like,
bit off.
no, version 4 came out in like 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine that what was created, so long ago with the crew. Which, oh man, I'm going to blank on Rob Doss and
Eric Swan.
yes, and Michael Baum was the early CEO.
Yeah.
They did some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
That was 20 years ago. That's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
It's crazy. One more year and this company can drink alcohol.
Yep. I think we started a little while back. Yeah.
But in that museum, so for just the experience of like going into the pavilion area to get there after registration, you go through this museum. And so like there was like a pile of T-shirts in like an art case.
Oh yeah, that was neat.
That was cool. There's like obviously pictures from back in the day. The Lego mural from the last conf we did here, maybe.
Was it?
Was there.
Aren't they all here in the Venetian and the Sands exhibits?
No, we did some at the MGM.
Yeah. So, and we also went to Orlando. We went to
yes,
DC.
we went to Disney World and DC. That's right. And we started. Can you name all the conf locations?
No. There are ones before my time. I cannot.
Office, Westin,
Okay.
Cosmo,
Okay.
MGM, Venetian, or Disney, DC Disney, Venetian, remote.
Yeah.
MGM here.
We're skipping the remote ones.
Yeah.
And then here we are back at the.
Then we're here.
at the Venetian.
So we had the mural. It was the Mars rover done in Legos.
I did see that.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was actually really cool.
There was like the art
Once you said
mural that
Mars
was made.
Rover, I
Yeah.
was like, yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. And then you go through this tunnel.
Yeah, and you got
come
the
out.
5-year commemorative kind of stands
Yeah.
display of what happened in this year. So that was pretty neat.
And after you come through through that tunnel,
Right.
you come out and here's this like beautiful
People clap, you know. they're-
yeah pavilion area, and it feels like you're in a different place. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's such a cool experience.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
So, did you see anything that surprised you that you didn't expect?
I didn't expect all the quality time that I had with Buttercup.
I had a little bit of quality time with Buttercup earlier this morning.
You did?
If I look behind me, am I going to be?
No. No. I wish. Damn. I wish it was queued up like
Oh well,
that.
sometimes
Look
that
around.
happens.
Look around if there's a Buttercup.
I'm like-
so I don't know if people at home know what the setup is here, but we're broadcasting in the middle of a hallway.
Desert? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, that actually
I
doesn't
mean, right
sound
behind
as
us
cool as
are,
it is.
you can't see because of the background, but there's windows behind us. We're at the edge of the building.
We're at the edge. We're living on the edge.
Actually, no, it's too far away.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm totally getting this. You keep talking.
Okay. So behind us, we have the windows, and across from us is essentially like an atrium type thing. But we literally have people sitting and watching us record. In fact, they're waving to me. Can you guys make some noise? I don't know if it'll pick up. 1, 2, 3. Woo! I don't know if it picks up on the mic.
So, speaking
Oh.
of living on the edge, hello. Did you see that?
Oh, living on the edge. There we go.
Yeah, yeah. I'm proud of that shirt.
Very cool.
Great shirt. I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
Well, speaking of Edge, we had we also had the Edge Hub area, and in there they had from the keynote the device that they did the demo on.
Yes.
And so it was cool to actually like reproduce. You know, it was like Tom got up there and he said, "Wouldn't it be great if everything we show had a live demo?"
Yeah.
That was not lost on me.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
to
a lot of
see-
work, dude.
Yeah,
That
this
is
is
a
not
crazy
like
amount of work.
pre-recorded, like
Yeah.
we faked it or anything. Like this is legit happening.
The number of people involved in making live demos on the keynote stage, especially, it's crazy. And there's a lot of work behind the scenes
Yeah.
from people. Oh man, it's a lot. But yeah, it's great when it's all pulled off. You know, it's like this polished thing that everybody worked together on. It's really kind of feels pretty good. But I love the that you can touch. You know, of the Edge Hub specifically, right? That's like you can touch it. Oh, I do this and that
that
moves the
moves a conveyor
vibration
belt or-
monitor, and
yeah.
then you see the data right
It's
there.
so sensitive.
Yeah.
I thought I was sensitive.
You are?
It is sensitive.
Okay. It's more sensitive.
Yeah, I mean the sensors on it are so impressive. I am really
The
excited
sound,
to see
it
the
does
kinda-
light, it does vibration.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any of those built in, and then you've got a lot of ways to implement, to send.
And you have the
metrics
UI
to
there. And yeah, that one was pretty cool.
screen right on the front to display kind of the now of the sensors that it reads.
Yeah,
It's neat.
yeah.
It's cool. It's quality stuff. Did you see the AR demo?
Yes. Did you tell me? Did you play with it? There was
not
a bit
this
of a
year,
line.
or not at the show.
Yeah.
I did have a chance to work with that and configure it back in January.
Okay.
So I don't know what happened between now and January, but I can set it. I can kind of like conceptualize it for everyone here.
Yeah, let's describe it so people at home can picture
Yeah,
it.
so augmented reality, right? This is the concept of, I've got a digital device and I've got the real world, and I want to bring, in our case, we want to bring data and kind of apply it to the digital, to the real world. So, this cup, for example.
Yeah.
Let's say that the cup had a QR code on it to say that this is an asset. This asset is Hal's cup.
Yeah.
And what you do is you take the Splunk app that has AR capabilities in it. It's got a camera integration with your Android or iOS device, blah, blah, blah. You point it at the QR code, and it knows now, okay, Hal is there looking at Hal's cup. Let's give him data related to Hal's cup. And then the Edge Hub story related to this is that some of the data could come from the Edge Hub sensors itself.
So while you're looking at your
While you're pointing your camera at it on your screen, you'll see, oh, okay, in the
just
real world.
floating in space.
Well,
like
I mean, it could
next
be,
to it.
It's you get to design a bit of a palette or whatever, where you
Yeah.
can say, okay, I want to have these three panels over here and these three panels over here, and you can say, stick it here at this physical space.
So okay, so let's picture how this works in the real world. Like you're walk into a server room, and
Oh, you mean like a real world example?
yeah, give me
whatever.
Yeah, how does this work in the real world?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, you'd have asset tags on all your servers,
Yeah.
and you just like bump. Oh, that one's healthy, because I've got green.
And you keep doing
green
this
marks or whatever.
because you're talking
you're
about
moving
doing it
your
with
phone or
phone.
your tablet.
But what did they have
view.
there in the pavilion?
I don't know. I have no idea because I didn't
They
see
had
it.
VR goggles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So people were wearing the goggles, and it was a
Was it
fully.
mixed reality? Did they do like a
I'm not familiar with all the terms, but I mean they could like
interesting?
they could like pick up
Yeah.
like metrics and
Okay.
like move them to the side.
Thinking about seeing mixed reality, which
Yeah.
refers to, I mean, VR. If you have VR goggles,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can't see out of it.
Okay.
But the mixed reality has got cameras on the front of the goggles
That's what it was.
to bring the two together.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So instead of the example that I was giving, you're taking your phone and viewing things. This one is no, it's wherever you're looking.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I thought
awesome.
that was cool. That was cool.
That is rather cool.
Yeah. Okay, we let's think back
I
to.
think we've got like just a few minutes left.
Yeah, just a few minutes left. Any other like highlights from thinking back on the whole
Yep.
week here? Oh, the party last night.
I was gonna say the party last night.
The search party.
I don't recall being so impressed with a DJ as at this party.
We had two DJs too.
We had two DJs, DJ Jazzy Jeff.
That's right.
Of some renown.
Yes.
And I apologize, I don't recall the woman's name, the DJ. She was on fire.
She was
With the
impressive. She had a
electric violin, I guess
Yeah.
is what you call that. Yeah.
Yeah, very talented.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I love that show. I
Yeah.
actually was dancing in the front for a little while, which I never do.
Yeah.
Like ever, and I
Yeah.
was into it.
I actually just had to take a while to just like wander around the
Yeah.
pavilion
Yeah, I just did the
and
whole
just
circuit.
take in all the cool things. So on one side was
Party?
I'm sorry, the party. Thank you. There were these beautiful illuminated trees of light.
Yeah.
And you could write a wish on a piece of paper and hang it on the tree.
Did you do a wish?
There was a line.
Okay.
And again, when there's a line, I'm like, well, I
Yeah.
work here. I'd rather
Yeah.
everyone else get the experience. There was that. There was massive arcades.
Yep.
I
Like
saw
a 4-player Pac-Man. I saw a
Four-player
couple things.
Pac-Man.
Yeah, it was kind
something
of
with lasers going on.
There was a section at the end. It was for VIPs only. So I'm sorry you were not allowed in there. But I met Magnus, who was from IKEA, who was our keynote speaker.
Yes, I got
Had
to
some
meet
really
him too.
neat conversations with him.
You know his
He's a
joke
guy.
about when he goes like, "Oh, look, an Allen key. I'm
Yeah.
going to go ahead and tighten." Apparently that was
Probably
all
some sort of
improvised.
compulsion.
I mean, it wasn't improvised, but only
Yeah.
he and Kara. He told me only the two of them knew
Nice,
that he was
nice.
going to do that. Yeah, that was really cute. It seemed so natural.
Yeah.
I
I think he said he'd worked there like 18 years or something.
Really?
Yeah. He lives in the city where IKEA was founded and all the.
Oh wow. Yeah, he
businesses
seems
that
like a really
make it go.
cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was also this like monster stilt walker thing. I had to get
yeah.
a video of it.
Yeah.
So stimulating.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Seesaws.
Yeah.
Did you see the seesaws?
Yeah, I saw the seesaws. I'm not a seesaw person.
You're not a seesaw
No,
person?
no.
So
I had
you
some
see them and you
gelato
saw them and you moved on.
I appreciated some gelato and watched other people seesaw.
Yes. You did more of the seeing and the sawing than the seesawing.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, there was that. Yeah, just a lot of really cool games. And I think that's what I love about the search party is like every time, there's no fail. It's like you are going to have a good experience. You're going to be able to hang out, listen to cool music,
fun.
catch a celebrity, performer, and just really have a good time. And they always feel like so down to earth, like an opportunity for us to all like hang out
Yeah,
with
yeah.
each other and like talk more and talk tech and be geeks. Yeah, it was great.
No, it was great.
Yeah.
My voice is a little rough this morning.
Yes,
because
my
of it.
voice is definitely a little rough.
Yep.
I've been trying to have a lot of water to get it back for you
Yep,
all.
Yep.
So
This has been fun.
This has been fun. I think we should wrap up.
We should probably do it again.
We should do this again.
Yeah. We should definitely record more podcasts.
Yeah, people didn't actually know, but this is a regular thing. We record and publish a podcast, splunktalk.com, or you could find us on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube.
YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely Follow us. We'll be producing
Like
more
and
episodes.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Yeah, you got to do the thing. you know,
And
do
hopefully
the thing.
we're fortunate enough to be able to do this at future.com as
If
well.
we've not offended anybody yet, I don't know what else I can
Well,
do.
there's
to
still
do
time
that.
to offend.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe we'll be back.
Maybe
That would
we'll
be
be
nice.
back. We
We'll
hope
see.
you all will be back at future confs. Continue to make this such an enriching experience where so many brilliant minds can come together and discover the things they didn't know were possible.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, studio crew. We
So-
appreciate y'all.
Yeah, and thanks to you all.
morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from, and welcome to Splunk Studios. This is our last live recording of .conf 23, and we're here at the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas, so thank you for joining us. And I'm here with Tom Casey, who is our GM of Products and Technology.
Hello.
Tom, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with me.
It's a ton of fun.
It is a ton of fun, and you are a .conf 23 survivor, so we are right at the end of the program.
Is that what we call the newbies?
This
like
is what
me?
we are calling the newbies, so
right.
Congratulations. But how's it been? This is your first .conf.
Yeah, it's been
Tell us.
fantastic. It's been fantastic. I think I'm really struck by the level of engagement everybody has. You know, the community really supporting itself, talking about new functionality, sharing best practices. I think that's a fairly unique thing that comes out of the level of skill and enthusiasm that this community has. I think that's been wonderful. I've seen more fezzes than I've seen at any other conference
In
I've
one
ever
place.
been to. Yeah, maybe more
We're proud
fezzes
of
than I've
that.
seen in any one place. That is something to be proud of. And I think that there's a lot of excitement. I mean, not just mine and yours, because part of it is we're relieved that everything came off so well.
Yes.
Which it really did. So congratulations. I think it's been great.
Thank you.
But from the press to the analysts to our customers to our sponsors and our partners, I just think everybody's getting value out of that engagement, and it's great.
Yeah, it's been awesome. And I was looking at, we have an interactive map of Splunk hoodies, and the .conf hoodie is a real thing. People collect them. We're in our 14th .conf, and there's this interactive map, and it was amazing to see that the one that is going furthest away is going back to New Zealand. So this really is an event
neat.
where people come from all around the world to
Wonderful.
join in and be part of the community. I think you've been man of the moment. You're our new sort of head of product and technology. This is your first conf, and I've seen you all over the place, whether you're talking on the main stage, in breakouts, analysts, media, customers, parties. I think I might have seen you at the search party last night.
Actually, yeah, that's what I mean by engagement. There's been a lot of deep conversations in noisy rooms at some of these gatherings. It's fun, of course, but
Yeah.
people are loving it. So yeah, it's been great.
And what's the buzz? What's the feedback? What are you hearing?
Well, I think there are a few things. I think in general, I'm hearing reflected back feedback on innovation, which is good. That's part of what we really wanted, right? I think we had the pre-conference announcements around the Enterprise 9.1 release, the cloud platform updates, the stuff we've already rolled out this year. I think people are starting to get a sense of some momentum, and that's being reflected back a lot. And then, of course, the three big announcements. There's a lot of talk about those things.
Yeah.
And what I like about each, I think, Claire, is that, especially with us coming up on 20 years, you and I were talking about that right before, each one of those represents value today and a signal of kind of use case expansion and enthusiasm for new scenarios kind of for the future that we build on. So, what we announce at the top level, right? Azure. You can buy in the Azure Marketplace now, and coming soon, we're bringing the native cloud optimized applications to Azure, right?
Yep.
AI, we've got the new assistants that we've announced here, the Splunk AI assistant, the anomaly detection assistant, adaptive thresholding, those things now. And there's all this great stuff people can see coming by continuing to tune prompt-based engineering and AI from our data in the product. And then, Edge Hub. To be very clear, we're not giving anybody an Edge Hub to use at home. I should probably point that out to anybody listening.
Do you have an Edge Hub at home?
I don't even have an Edge Hub
Okay,
at home.
let's talk about what is the Edge Hub.
But it is fantastic to connect the world of OT to IT. It is a hardware and software device that we've just introduced, sold exclusively through our partner channel. Really has a set of onboard sensors as well as plug-in sensors. You can install basic algorithms on the device itself and eventually further applications there. But fundamentally, it logs all that unlogged environmental data, vibration on a conveyor belt in a manufacturing environment, temperature, humidity, all of those sorts of things, so that you can really not only keep your shop floor or facility running,
Yep.
but you can do it in an integrated way using Splunk, which you're already using, your existing Splunk dashboards. And so it turns all of this, all the ambiance into data.
which is awesome. And I know that we were brave enough to do a live demo and to see that industrial manufacturing use case, which was really fantastic.
What did we do? I think we did 4 live demos on the main stage at least this year.
We did. We were brave. So let's dig into some of the main stage announcements as well. And I know we were joined by customers, so maybe you can talk us through some of those announcements you made.
Yeah, so we made a series of announcements. On day 1, Gary announced the partnership with Microsoft around delivering Splunk's products on optimized for Azure.
Yep.
As I said, that's availability to purchase Splunk's products in the Azure marketplace right now, which is great for customers that are committed to Azure. That confirms our commitment to choice.
It does, and we had our first transaction yesterday, which I think is awesome. Yes, so
Awesome.
it works, which is fantastic.
That's
so
great.
Go check that
Number
out.
1. I wonder how many we had today.
Pardon?
That's
No,
immediately
that's
what
a
I wonder. And then certainly Edge Hub we were just talking about as well. We announced that on first day as part of Gary's keynote with the live demo on stage. Poor Buttercup has ridden the conveyor belt a few times at variable speeds.
Well.
And a lot of promise of that. And then, we showed of the things that are really kind of net new and garnering some buzz, Attack Analyzer, the integration of that TwinWave acquisition and bringing Attack Analyzer for visualizing complex threat trees and handling that detection as part of security. We did unified login and common login for observability, highlighted adaptive thresholding there on the main stage. And then in the platform, we focused very much on edge processor, this idea of kind of capturing more data at the edge, not just throwing it away, filtering and routing it over to places like Amazon S3 buckets or the AWS Security Lake. And not just routing it to those places and then leaving it as latent data, but also having federated search for the ability to go back and access the value of that on demand when you need it. And so I think across the board in security, observability, and the platform, we were able to show some exciting new innovations in addition to enhancements to things people already have. And that combination seems well received. At least that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, me too. And let's talk a bit about edge processor federated search. Why is that so important for customers now with so much data? I mean, what's the real value that those products give them?
Yeah, well, even before we connect the OT world to IT and bring in all of those scenarios, just the existing sort of digitally born software and hardware assets we think of in the IT and engineering environment, those are throwing off just ever more volumes of data and event streams right now. Mm-hmm. I talked about this on the main stage as well. The complexity in our world has just grown so much that you can get overwhelmed with that data. And so it's critically important that you be able to combine Splunk's strength in schema on read and searching for that needle in a haystack with Splunk's strength in identifying, filtering, kind of sorting that data and routing it to the right places now so that you have access to the data that you want kind of hot, warm, and cold.
Yep.
And the things you think you might need later
for
forensic purposes, for compliance, or for something else. And so it's just this issue. I think we cited a statistic already of more than 80% of IT operations teams say that their environments are more complex, substantially more complex now than they were before, ever. And I think that if you surveyed them tomorrow, they would say the same thing about today.
Absolutely.
So it's not going to get any easier, and so Splunk is here to kind of move, if you will, a little bit closer to the source of the data to help you organize it better so you can make sense of it. And then we're still there to make it easy to search it and access it in Splunk and adjunct stores like your data lakes.
Yeah, and make that all cost efficient as well, because that's a really big consideration. And I like the way, I know we were joined on stage by Carnival Corporation, who has 300,000 passengers. They go to 700 ports on these huge floating cities and just so much data. And it was such a great example of bringing sort of those worlds of security and observability together, underpinned by a platform. So what are some of the best customer, I think, examples that you've seen this week as well?
Yeah, I love them. There was the Rappi example. They're an e-commerce and delivery company. Yep. They've kind of baked Splunk Observability Cloud into what they're doing to provide both uptime and real user monitoring, drive greater user engagement and efficiency. which is wonderful. And then you have Carnival. You know, Carnival's whole conversation wasn't a conversation that started from the perspective of security or started from the perspective of system uptime. It's about experiences for human beings, about experiences for people. And I really love those two examples because at the end of the day, you know, the whole purpose of creating a safer and more resilient digital world is so we can enjoy ourselves, in a sense. And so I thought that was really fun. And then, you know, as somebody who still fancies himself a bit of a geek, you know, whether it's conversations about what's happening with, you know, our partners who are experts in OT environments, and talking about the number of sensors, the way those are managed today, how they need to be brought together. There are some fantastic examples that are lingering out there as well. And then this isn't so much a scenario that we've talked about, Claire, as it is a trend around Splunk that I thought was really interesting. You and I were talking about this at the beginning. There are a lot of people here. This feels like a pre-COVID kind of event, right?
I think it feels like we're back. So the last time we were here actually was 2019, and it feels really similar to...
Yeah, and one of the customers that I met with in my customer meetings yesterday said they brought more than 20 people to .conf and, you know, certified a subset of them over the weekend. I mean, the fact that people are, you know, especially if they're watching their dollars, that they're choosing to spend their dollars on increasing their competency in Splunk means that we help them discover more value and more use cases. And so it's almost like the things you and I don't see that are hidden in our data and hidden in the opportunity that are as interesting as the things we do see on the main stage or elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is such a big learning event as well. We run Splunk University, and this year we have extended certifications for a couple of days and just really helping people get hands-on and learn more. I think one of the big areas of excitement and interest is AI. I heard some news this morning that they have artificially engineered an Oreo.
A what?
An Oreo.
Okay.
It's one smart cookie.
Oh. Tony Pavlovich, our chief.
No, that's all me. But anyway, let's dig in. Let's dig in. So let's talk AI, because I know there were big announcements from us this week, and I'd love to start in how are we thinking about AI and how can we help our customers?
Yeah, great. We did announce Splunk AI, which puts a name to investments we've been making around machine learning and language model applications of various sizes to advancing detection, and mostly detection scenarios previously, but really now moving more into action as well. So Splunk AI really has three things that are a key part of it. First of all, it's all about security and observability. We understand that domain. Our community here has expertise in that domain, so we think we can build the best models and focus on getting to action, which is what we're about. We keep the human in the loop, and this is really seems to have resonated well with people. That idea that you know, security and observability are about uptime and safety, and that's a trust conversation. And I think it's critically important that as we continue as an industry and a market to tune AI, that the human beings are there taking recommendations and optimizations from things like our anomaly detection assistant, from things like our natural language-based Splunk AI assistant, which will help you do search in natural language. That notion of that tight feedback loop of a human saying, yes, this is right and what I want, and oh, you're recommending I do this instead, and that's a good thing, both helps humans get to the right answer right now, and ultimately becomes a really nice built-in mechanism for training and refining those models for them to work better over time. So I love that. Human in the loop is the second piece. And then, you know, this is not something that's just brand new for us.
Yep.
We've had our machine learning toolkit, which has been was introduced in what, 2015, I think originally.
And I think 200,000 downloads. It's a really
200,000 plus downloads. We've just refreshed that. We've just had an update to our data science and deep learning application on Splunk Base, and we're really delivering AI for everyday use now with these individual assistants that are showing up everywhere. So I think there's the domain-specific expertise we bring around security and observability. There's knowing you've got to keep the human in the loop, and we have that going for us with a great community and user base. And then this idea of showing up in people's everyday lives in our product with these sets of assistants in the workflow, but still being open and Splunky
Yeah.
with the toolkits.
Totally, and it was so good. I know you've brought on board our new CTO, Min Wang, and to see her on the stage talking through and going to build that. I'm excited for next.conf. I think there's going to be a huge sort of exploration of AI in that time, so we look forward to what you and the team will build.
It's funny, for AI, something that's been around for 20 plus years, and for something that's been around that long, we're just getting going.
I know.
You know, it's like we're just getting started is what it feels like, too.
Feels like 3G all those years ago, and finally it came. But
does.
talking about predictions, what's ahead? You know, there's so much exciting things happening in the world of AI, but what would be a prediction or two you'd have for us about what's going to happen next in the world of technology?
In the world of technology at large. Well, I think a year from now we'll probably be here in Vegas. I can predict that, and some techies will be wearing fezzes.
That's true.
So that
that's
for
true.
sure will happen.
That doesn't count, but nice try.
That doesn't count. Dang it. I think a few things are going to happen. You know, the major trends around kind of the complexity and explosion of data and the heterogeneity environments. That's going to continue for the foreseeable future, and so. You know, positioning ourselves and having the investments we've made as a vendor of choice for multi-cloud, supporting on-premise, the reach to incorporate more devices in the environment. I think all that is consistent with that, and a thing we'll continue to invest in and build on. With all of that comes the overwhelm of data. We know that, you know, AI is part of the answer to go help refine and focus our work and where we need to spend our attention units as humans. And so we're going to see that continue. And I think what you'll really see from Splunk in the near and long is sort of this bit where we're going to have a lot of these assistants that we deliver to help in the SOC and the NOC on a daily basis, and then continue to introduce, you know, kind of some aggregate new capabilities like we did with the Splunk AI assistant that's for more ad hoc use as well. So I think the market is going to find its way through the hype, and I suspect they're going to end up in a similar place to where we're approaching this to right now, because you've got to offer pragmatic value every day to people.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think that's what we're trying to focus on. So those two things. And then, you know, teleportation, I'm waiting for that.
That would be great. Would
I
you go
don't
forward
see
or-
that
Would you go
necessarily,
forward
but I
or
like
back, though?
I would do a little both forward and back,
Okay, that's
though.
a bit of time traveling.
Yeah, a little, maybe time travel is more what I want than teleportation.
Well, it's Splunk's 20th anniversary this year, which is amazing. So what were you, let's teleport you back 20 years ago. Where were you? What were you doing?
20 years
Yes.
ago, where was I?
It was
I
2003.
think I was 2003. I was still working at Microsoft. I was changing diapers.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my daughter will be 20,
I can relate.
21
I
this
change a lot
year.
of diapers at the moment.
That's
so I
right.
can relate.
You're in
So
the middle of that
good
right
to know
now.
I have a ally.
Yeah, and
Where did you live? You were in Seattle.
I was living in Seattle, but like everybody else, almost everywhere else in the world, it seemed like overnight we were listening to the White Stripes Seven Nation Army, because
Yeah.
I remember that was 2003, sometime in 2003.
You're having a lot of fun. You're on the
when
music
that came
scene.
out, and yeah, as a total hack on guitar for sure. Everybody knows how to play
Do you still
that.
catch gigs and do stuff like that?
No, not nearly enough. I didn't do it then either. I was
Okay.
changing diapers. It all ended for me just prior to that.
Don't say that. That's funny. Okay, so in 20 years' time, maybe we'll both still be here hanging out, Tom, talking in Splunk Studios. Who knows? But just to wrap up in terms of what we've heard today, and thank you so much for being with us.
Sure.
I think 20 years ago, Splunk was all around helping customers be resilient. Today, we're helping them be ready for anything, and it sounds like we're going to continue to build that out. And we will check back in with you next year and see how that's going. So thank you for all you do to help our customers stay up and running.
Thank you, Claire. Appreciate your partnership. One of the greatest things about being at Splunk is, I think, how much fun we get to have together, and that includes this great user community we have. So
It does.
yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Enjoy. Congratulations for making it through to the end of .conf 23, and we will see you next year. Cheers.